All right. Hello and good morning. One more morning here from St. George, Utah. We're grateful for this beautiful backdrop and wonderful patio to lead classes on today. My name is Shauna. I'll be guiding you through the session. We're going to do a little bit of weight training today. So if you have some dumbbells available. And first, though, we're going to start down on the floor. We're going to have some side planks, bear crawls, and some glute bridges in the first series after we get a little bit of stretching in. So go ahead and come on down to hands and knees if you haven't already. All right, we're going to start with a little warm up for your forearms and wrists. If you're comfortable to kneel, or you can also do this like from a standing position on your countertop or table as well. You want to find a spot that you can place your palms face down. You're going to rotate your hands so your fingers point in towards you. Make sure you draw that abdomen in so you're not arching the spine. Spread those fingers as wide as you can, and then just gently lean back. You don't want any of our stretches to be too intense, just nice and gradual here, looking to stretch out those forearms. It's going to help the mobility at the wrist. Let's go ahead and lean forward and lean back twice more. So a gentle rock back, get a nice stretch there with the fingers spread wide. Morning, Jean. And one more time, we'll lean forward, draw the abdomen in, and gently lean back. Fantastic. Go ahead and come on off the hands into a kneeling or standing position. Just shake out the wrist. And then we'll roll the wrist around. I've got my toes turned under here. If you're comfortable to do so, go ahead and sit back on the heels. Get a nice stretch for the toes. Switch directions of the wrist rolls. Very good. And then we're going to take the backs of the hands together, fingers pointing down. Draw the shoulders down out of the ears. And now we'll pull those elbows down. Stretch the tops or back sides of the forearms, depending on how you look at the body. One more breath here. And rest. Good job. All right, we're going to come into a cat-cow position next. Get our breathing in today. So nice wide handprint. Go ahead and place one hand under each shoulder. We're going to go about 5 cycles through. Once you know the movement, just move through on your own. So we'll start with that exhale. Gently blow the air out as you push through that mid-back. Draw the chin in towards the chest. And then when you're ready to breathe in, start to arch the back slightly, lift the head, looking straight forward. Very good. Exhale, draw everything down and in, trying to breathe gently out through the mouth. And then in through the nose. 3 times more. Find your own rhythm of your breathing. Nice. Focus on having nice long breaths here. You can even pause for a moment at the top of the inhalation and the bottom of the exhalation. Take it out one more time through. When you finish, meet me in child's position. All right, toes come together, knees divide just a hair wider. Reach those arms straight out and then rock on back if you're not there already. Welcome, Sharon. Great to have you. And now we're breathing into the back and sides of your rib cage. So on that inhale, think about trying to expand your torso. Sending that air to the outskirts of your lungs, and then exhale, relax the chest down towards the floor. One more nice big breath here. And release. Great job. Those of you just coming on, if you need to warm up the wrists at all, please do so. We're going to go ahead and roll onto our back next to loosen up that low back a bit, and then we'll get into our first series. We have some side planks, bear crawls, and bridges coming up next. So go ahead and gradually come on down to your back. When you get onto your back, draw your shoulder blades underneath you, and then we're going to start with our 2-knee twist, hugging those legs in towards the chest, and gently rock yourself side to side. Very good. Nice and relaxed. If everything's feeling pretty loose with that 2-knee twist, you can go a little bit deeper into that, or sorry, double-kneed chest into that 2-knee twist. I do that often. Both legs come to one side, head turns and looks over the opposite shoulder. And then nice and smooth, bring both legs together across the opposite side, turn that head over that opposite shoulder. About once more each direction. Good. And release. All right, we're gonna get ready for our side planks next. Anyone's down the floor, can't do any side planks. You can do some modifications. You can do on your knees and kind of push through that top arm as well. And do we call like a side plank dip up and down off the knees would be an option as well, Laura, or the elevated position we do in the basics class. All right, everybody, we've got 45-second intervals today. So if you can't quite go the whole way, come down and rest anytime you need. Otherwise, draw that elbow straight underneath the shoulders, either knees bent or legs straight. Coming up in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Stacking the shoulders straight over each other, hips in line with the shoulders, and then watch the head position as well. Chin draws in. And breathe. It's our first of 2 rounds this morning, so we've got a little bit longer intervals and a little bit shorter set. 2 instead of 3 sets. That's 20 seconds, so almost halfway through this first one. Again, if you need to take a break, do it. Really focus to lift up out of that downside shoulder. 30 seconds in. This arm can be lifted straight up in the air. You can rest it on your hip, whatever feels best for you. Watch the head doesn't draw forward. Almost there. And 2, 1, and rest. Very good. Getting ready for our bear crawl next. So hands and knees. If you're doing a standing position, Laura, you can do a march and punch as well here if bear crawl doesn't work for you. Wide handprint, knees barely come off the ground. And then when you're ready, opposite hand, opposite leg, working that cross crawl pattern. Wide handprint, you want to practice gripping the ground and nice flat spine. When you get to the end of your area, then start to make your way back, pushing through the heel of the hand. Good. Breathing as you move here. Exercising our brain as well this morning. 30 seconds in, 15 seconds left. Try to have a nice rhythmic breathing as you pick your hands up. And down, nice strong exhale. And there's our 45 in 2, 1, and rest. Great job. Side plank on the opposite arm. Coming into position. Shoulder and elbow in alignment. And 2, 1. Here we go. Hold and breathe. Planks are a really great exercise to build that endurance and postural support for the spine. Stronger all those muscles are, the less like instability, excessive movement that we have at the spine. We're almost to 30 seconds. Keep pulling that chin in, keep lifting up out of that downside shoulder. There's our 30, 15 to go. Looks great, crew. Breathe in, hold. We're coming onto our backs for glute bridge next. Getting ready to transition in 3, 2, 1, and come on down. Great job. Making your way down to the floor. As you come onto your back, pull your shoulder blades underneath you. Knees are going to be bent. And just start nice and gradual here. When you're ready, you're going to roll the hips back, flatten that low back into the floor, and then gradually lift those hips up towards the ceiling, driving your knees nice and wide. Good job. Gradually lower down. Great time to close the eyes. Try to relax all the small muscles of the eyes. Just feel into your body move. Nice smooth exhale as you lift those hips up. The higher you get with the hips, the more you want to start to draw that chin in towards the chest. About 1 or 2 more here. Finish that rep and go ahead and rest. Very nice. Back to that double knee to chest. That's the end of set 1. We'll give about 30 seconds and we'll be back to that side plank of set 2. Also on the second round of glute bridge, if you want to progress the movement, you could get a chair or a box, a bench, somewhere to elevate the feet. for hamstring curls on the second set. All right, we're gonna start here on the side plank in about 10 seconds. This morning I lost a layer as I took that off. All right, pull that elbow in, everything nice and square in 3, 2, 1, here we go. Straight forward. And if you want to add a little bit more to it this time, you could do the side plank rotations, the last 30 seconds, reaching that arm underneath the downside shoulder, rotating through, looking straight ahead of the top. Lift up to create that space for that top arm to reach under. You're trying to move with those hips and shoulders at the same time. Excellent. And all the way back to that starting position, ensuring those shoulders get stacked and the hips are in alignment. Over 30 seconds in, about 10 seconds left. Whew. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Great job. We've got 15 seconds. Be back to that bear crawl. Or that crossbody punch, alternating knee to elbow works great as well. Those of you that are standing tall, wide handprint, starting on hands and knees. 2, 1, here it is. Pull that chin in, looking straight down between the hands. Small little steps here. We're going to keep that spine nice and level as you move the limbs. Excellent. Steps forward, a few steps back. There's 30 seconds, 15 left. Nice, great job, crew. Looks good, Laura. Getting ready to switch back to that opposite arm side plank. Ready and rest. All right, turn it around. Opposite side. Pull that elbow in, those of you down on the floor, make sure it's not wide. We see that often, so stack it straight on. Ready, here we go. So first round, we held the first 15 seconds fairly neutral. Chin in, eyes forward. And then if you'd like to add those rotations, we have 30 seconds left. Reaching under, keeping those hips nice and high as you reach. Rotate all the way through. Excellent. Breathing. Very nice. Fluid movements, 10 seconds left. Keep lifting those hips up, working against gravity. And rest. Awesome job. Glute bridge or the hamstring curl. Can't see it very well, but I got this trusty little rock right here on the patio. I'm going to put my feet up on that rock. If you have a little staircase in the area, that would work as well. Bottom of the couch. Otherwise, regular glute bridge works. As soon as you get into position, go ahead and begin. Pushing through the feet, elevating those hips, and relaxing down, ensuring those knees stay driving out. And we're focused on both the back side of the body, firing those glutes and hamstrings. And also, this is a great exercise to kind of tune into your pelvic floor. Engage some of those smaller muscles. Like you're trying to stop the strain of urine. Try to engage all those muscles without holding your breath. So keep that breathing going. Nice and fluid. Good. We're going to take this one another 15 seconds. Our last exercise of the series. We're going to go a full minute here. So keep elevating up. Got about 10 seconds left. And controlling down. Three, 2, 1, and rest from there. Great job. Just go ahead and stay on your back. I'm just going to reposition myself, and we're going to move into the glute stretch. We're going to warm up those ankles as well. So with one leg extended, go ahead and pull your right knee up and towards your right shoulder at first. Start to roll that ankle around from here about 5 to 8 times each direction. Go ahead, switch directions when you're ready. Then we'll start to shift into that glute stretch. So with that same leg, if you're holding that right leg, you're going to guide it across the body towards the left. Try to have your head and neck nice and neutral, chin drawn in, looking straight up, or relax the eyes closed. As you pull it across, you can hold it there, or I like to just kind of move it through a little bit, kind of glide that hip and knee up and down. Feel a little bit of movement through that outer hip. But before we switch legs, let's take a moment and say hello to the hamstring on this side. See if you can interlace the hands. Go ahead and grab either behind the knee, behind the calf, behind the hamstring, whatever works well. And then we're going to move through the foot and ankle. You're going to pull the toes towards your face, point the foot towards the sky, toes back towards your face. And now you're going to bend that knee down and in, kind of hug the thigh into the chest. Still keeping those toes pulled back towards you as you extend that foot up towards the sky. Good, we'll take it through that series twice more. Point the toes away. Draw the foot and toes back towards you. Hold that posture in the foot while you pull the knee in. Good, and then extending the leg. Say hello. Now I feel it in my calf on this side. Sometimes I'll feel it more on the hamstring. Last time, point the foot, draw it back, bend the knee down and in, and up. Good, when you finish that switching leg, so you can comfortably extend the right leg straight on the floor. Now we'll pull the left knee up and in. Interlace the hands, starting with those ankle rolls. Actively driving that right thigh down as you pull the left knee in towards the left shoulder and rotating through that ankle. 5 to 8 times each way. Switch directions when you're ready. And then we're going to go into that glute stretch, taking that left knee across the body, using your right hand to pull that knee towards the right shoulder. Breathe, nice deep cleansing breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And glide that knee up and down a bit. Keep a little bit of a flow here. And then that hamstring / sciatic nerve. So interlace the hands behind that left leg. Start with the ankle and foot. Point it towards the sky. Flex it back towards you. Pulling it back towards you is where we're going to bend the knee down and in. So we're just encouraging the sciatic nerve to move along the back of the leg. Help keep it from getting stuck along its path. A lot of times when it gets stuck, that's when it gives us those fits. Different symptoms in the back of the body, some tingling down to the feet sometimes. About 3 times here on this one. Point and lift the toe, pulling it back as you draw that knee down and in, and then extend that foot straight up towards the sky. Last time, up, down, bend, and extend. Fantastic, everyone. Once you finish that, let's go ahead and start to make our way back over to all fours. We're gonna go down dog, and then inchworm our way back up to standing. So nice wide handprint. Turn the toes under, lift those hips up, and start with a few down dog pulses, rocking forward onto the hands, rocking back, nice smooth exhale as you draw the chin to the chest and guide the heart towards the thighs. One more time, rocking it forward, just slightly onto those arms more, and then hips high, drawing it back. This time, while we're back here, we'll pedal out those heels. Get a nice stretch for the back of the calves. That feels lovely. Ooh. And then when you're ready, nice and slow, you'll push through the hands, walk your feet up, bend into those knees. I'm going to come into that forward fold position and just see if you can come up really slow here. Gradually coming up out of that forward fold. Very good. Once you make your way up to standing, let's grab a drink of water. We'll do a couple stretches up here, and then we're going to get ready for our next circuit. We've got some squats with some overhead press for the thruster this morning, with some dumbbell rows, some blood flow work in between arms. Right. So to get ready for those squats, we're going to first open up the inner thighs, and then we're going to stretch those quads. So for the inner thigh stretch, walk the feet nice and wide. Root down into those legs, reach those arms straight out with a nice solid bend in the knees. You're gonna gradually go into a side bend on one side. Toes grip down, knee drives wide. Good. Breathe in, come back up to center. And then same thing, other direction. Just have some good awareness around where the knee's headed. We don't want it to dive in. We want it to be tracking out. Very nice. Once more each way, up to center. Chest tall as you pull those shoulders back, and then slowly drop into that opposite side. Wonderful. Back to center, and then balance it out on that second side. Reach those arms straight out. Help encourage that chest to stay tall. Wonderful. And then come back to center and inch those feet back in. Fabulous. Quad stretch next. So feel free to steady yourself on something or lift up nice and tall. Look to grab one foot. Just keep a nice solid bend in the one leg and watch that we don't sway back here. Looking to pull that foot towards the glutes. Stay nice and tall on this one. We're going to keep the forward fold out of it today. 1 or 2 more breaths. And go ahead and release that side. Same thing, opposite side. Anchor the foot down, lift everything up and in, draw those shoulders back. And here we go, opposite foot. Good. Let's go about another 10 seconds here. Readjusting the balance as needed. And release when you're ready. Excellent. All right, set those feet just outside the hips. We're gonna warm up a few squats, and then if you wanna use some weights, we'll go ahead and pick up some weights. But first, let's go ahead and warm up that squat. So with the feet firmly planted, reach those arms straight out, drive those knees nice and wide. Eyes looking forward, fantastic, and then straight up. Make sure you think about pushing the big toe down as well as you sit back into those heels. Make sure you don't let your ankles drop in. So you wanna feel the arch of that foot, engage. Very good, we'll go one more time here. Reaching down, this time as you come down, instead of reaching your arms straight out, so you can kind of pull your thumbs towards your shoulders, elbows point forward. And then as we stand, we're just gonna reach nice and high to overhead. Beautiful, and then we're gonna take that right into our little hourglass stretch here. Snow globe, not hourglass, snow globe. Circling through, nice soft bend in the knees, 2 to 3 each direction. Monday morning, we're getting ready. We're gonna go get on the road as soon as we're done with classes here this morning and head back to Colorado. When we're ready, we'll switch sides. Excellent. Nice and smooth, flowing through. All right, we're getting ready for thrusters. That's a full squat into an overhead press. We've got 40 seconds of work and about 10 to 20 seconds to transition. Thruster, bent over dumbbell row with some blood flow work in between arms. So if you don't want to use weight, or at least not for the first round, this will be our first of 3 rounds. It's totally all right. Just move, reach your arms up to overhead as you stand up out of that squat. We're gonna get started here in about 10 seconds. So if you are going to use weights, let's go ahead and grab those weights, get your feet in a good position. If you are holding weights here, we want to think elbows up and forwards. And 3, 2, 1, begin. Just coming down, just like we practiced that squat, and then straight up to overhead. Good. And breathe in as I lower, exhale as I drive tall. Practice having your eyes focused straight ahead. That's going to help encourage that chest to stay tall. Halfway through. Wonderful. That's 30 seconds. We have 10 seconds left. Nice, crew. Two, one, and rest. Shake it out. All right. Single arm dumbbell row is next. So you can stand in a stagger stance, or you can go one arm supports on a tabletop chair, whatever is best for you. I'm going to be using the stagger stance today. Start on your non-dominant arm. 2, 1, here we go. Breathe in as you reach forward. Exhale on that up, that row, drawing that elbow nice and high. Excellent. Add that little pause at the top, really trying to squeeze that shoulder blade in towards your spine, building that strength there. Very good. 30 seconds in, 10 seconds left. I'm gonna think about drawing that chin in, looking straight down, either towards your front hand or front foot. Last rep. And rest. Make sure you kind of clear your space. Got a little bit of blood flow work next. So come on up to standing. And we're gonna start with some step or jump jacks. I'm gonna step it out for myself at first this morning. Nice. If you do want to move into a little bit of jumping, we're gonna have 20 seconds here, and now we're gonna switch it up, either a march and punch or a skip and punch. Nice. Keeping those eyes up, looking straight ahead. Doing great. And 2, 1, and rest. All right, getting ready for that dumbbell row on the opposite arm. So now your more dominant side. Coming down into position. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Exhale on that upright row. Imagine that string coming down from the sky, pulling your elbow as high as you can. All the while, keep that shoulder down out of the ears. So focus to draw it back and down on the rib cage. Breathe in on that forward reach, exhale on the row. We're halfway through the 40 seconds. Great job. It's good, Laura. Nice, Jean. And 2, 1, and resting there. All right, that concludes set 1. We're gonna take 30 seconds and we'll be back to our thrusters. Let's grab a little drink. Keep a little side step going. Want to keep that blood flowing. 20 seconds. Be back for set 2 of 3. So if you want to change up the weights, you can. Depending on how round 1 felt, if you want to move a little bit faster this round, that's appropriate for you. That's a choice as well. All right, set those feet in position for those squats. Getting ready for the thrusters. Here we go. Into the squat with that overhead press. Squeeze those glutes as you stand tall. Keep that spine from arching back. Sometimes we tend to lose the midline position and arch the back with an overhead reach. So want everything to be stacked right over each other. Good. That's 30 seconds, 10 seconds left. Nice, Kathy, looks great. Sharon, strong squatting today. Last one. And rotate. Dumbbell row, non-dominant arm. Go into that stagger stance, opposite leg forward. And 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Really make sure you fully extend that arm, reaching down for the floor, and then draw it all back and in. I like to let my shoulder kind of reach forward ever so slightly, and then retract it back with that exhale. Good. Those shoulders moving, coming up on our 30-second mark. 10 seconds left. Keep drawing that neck and chin in so you don't lose the head position forward. Strengthen the front of that neck. 2, 1, and rest. Back to our blood flow piece. Wonderful. As soon as you come up to standing, take a deep breath And back to our step or jump jacks. Woo. Very good. Instead of march and punch for the second half of this one, we're gonna do our lateral step overs. So imaginary hurdle, up and over. I watched my mother-in-law do it over the puppy dogs around the house this weekend. Make sure she doesn't trip. Up and over the dogs. Sometimes it's up and over a baby gate, in and out of the bathtub. And 3, 2, 1, and take the rest. Good job. 15 seconds. We're back to that dumbbell row on your dominant side. All right, it's our last exercise of set 2. Come into position, and here we go. Head looking straight forward. Elbow draws nice and high, squeezing that shoulder blade in towards the spine. Breathe in that forward reach, exhale on that row. Get those little helpers, pulling that elbow nice and high, getting that shoulder blade to sit back. Avoiding that rounded shoulder position. We're over 30 seconds in, 1 or 2 more reps. 2, 1, and rest. Good job. We'll take 30 seconds. Let's grab a drink. We'll be back for set 3. Depending upon your energy level today, if you think, okay, 2 round is good for that. We've got some lunges coming up in the next round. And a little bit more overhead work. All right, 10 seconds. Final round of thrusters. Grab your weights if you're using them, set the feet, and begin. You had a good weekend, good recovery, good sleep. Your immune system's feeling strong. And feel free to kind of push the pace a little bit, pulling yourself down to that squat, driving your feet into the floor as you propel up. Good. Nice high push to overhead, engaging the glutes. 30 seconds in, 10 seconds left. There you go, good. Fight to keep that chest tall. And last one, and rest. Wonderful. Dumbbell row, non-dominant arm. Starting in 10. Coming into position, nice long spine, and begin. Good, you can either keep it kind of a faster tempo, or if I have a little bit lighter weights that maybe I feel like I could use, sometimes I like to move a little bit slower, or at least pause in the top position. So down, up, squeeze it in, and repeat. All right, let's get 1 or 2 more. And rest, very good. Back to our blood flow. Starting with the step or jump jacks. Also a great time just to rest for a moment. Ten more seconds here, and then we'll go lateral step overs or some lateral hops. You can go step over, or if you want to do like that little like skier hop, side to side, get a little extra bounce in your step. Excellent. Good, 10 more seconds. I'm gonna go back to my step overs. Shoulders squeeze back, palms forward, and 2, 1, and transition. Good job, just dumbbell row to finish up this set. We'll start in 10 seconds. Woo! Happy Monday, everyone. 3, 2, 1, begin. Head and neck neutral. Chin pulled in. Elbow pulls high. Excellent. Halfway. There you go, good. Keep connecting into that breathing. We have a stretch break coming up next. 2, 1, and all done there. Great job. Check it out, let's grab a drink of water. All right, nice work. We're gonna stretch out our hip flexors a bit with our triceps side bend and our stagger stance. So 1 foot steps back, draw the ribs down and in. The foot you have back, reach that arm straight up into the air. Chin pulls in. Try to scratch your back here with that upright arm. Bend the elbow and then reach around. So we're gonna get our hip shift first. Chest tall, eyes up. Squeeze the glute of that trail leg. And then ever so gently, bend your torso towards that lead leg. Breathing here. Both feet should be anchored down to the floor, front shin vertical. Coming out of that side bend, we'll go twice more. Lift the chest up, shift that back hip forward, squeeze the glutes, then gently bend to the side. If you feel sturdy here, you can add a little rotation where you try to kind of rotate your torso, look up past that elbow. You're stretching. Whew. Unwind, and one more time. Breathe in, lift up, hips back, hips forward, squeeze the glutes. Take it to the side with the option of that gentle rotation. Whew, all right, shake it out, unwind those arms. Take note of which side you're stretching. I was on my right. If you're mirroring me, it was probably your left. In between sides, little side step arm swing. Rotating the palms forward, really squeeze those shoulders back and down. Nice broad chest position. Fantastic. And then when you're ready, same thing, other side. Anchor the front foot down, back foot, rock onto the heel. Make sure we're not sway back here. Ribs pull down and in. Reach up, bend the elbow, try to scratch your own back. As you lose that head forward, so chin in, lift. And now we shift the hips, squeeze the glute, lift the chest, and side bend on the first time. Keeping your eyes up, breathing a couple of times here. And we come back to neutral. Hips shift back, shift them forward, lift the chest. Again to that side bend with the option to gently rotate the torso and peer up past that elbow. Looking up towards your ceiling or your sky if you get to be outside this morning. Wonderful, good. Unwind. Last time. Hips back, hips forward, lift the hips, lift the chest. Bend towards that front leg with the option to gently rotate. Rotating towards the arm that you're having bent, reaching up towards the ceiling, looking up towards the ceiling, and unwind and shake it out. Good job. Back to your side step arm swing. All right, I've got a 12-minute circuit to finish. 4 exercises again. We're gonna do our reverse lunge to the high knee with an overhead press in between legs. And then we go reverse lunge on the opposite side. So if you're not comfortable to go in all the way into a lunge, do your giant step. If you are comfortable to bring that knee down, drive that front heel, and we're coming up to the high knee. A modification would be giant step back, front heel pushes down, stand tall, and you can practice that knee lift to work that balance a little bit. Forward will look like this with that giant step back, stepping it up and forward, and then flowing in that high knee position. All right, any questions? Go ahead and just loosen up the hips just a little bit more, little hip circles. We're gonna get started here in about 20 seconds. And then you wanna start on your non-dominant leg. So if you feel more sturdy on one side, start on the side that's maybe a bit more challenging. All righty, as you set up, check in with your feet. Sometimes you have a little bit of a toe out, so you want all the toes pointing forward for these lunges. Eyes looking forward, chest tall, and 3, 2, 1, here we go. If you're not holding any weights, which I don't recommend for the first set, reach those arms out. Nice long step back. Driving that front heel down. that leg that's stepping back, drawing it up and forward for a nice high knee position. Good. So a few things we're noting. Front shin nice and vertical, not letting that knee shoot forward. And also watch the hips. The hips tend to kick out to the sides. So keep it all nice and stable. 10 seconds left. Overhead press in between sides. 3, 2, 1, and get ready to transition. So overhead press. You could go both arms together. You're holding 2 weights. If you want to have a little bit less touches on each, you could also do an alternating overhead press. So when you're ready, go ahead and join me. So we can go both arms together, or if you want to slow down how many times you press overhead, we could go alternating arms. Squeezing the glutes, make sure you're not swaying back. If you need to add a little lift to it, you could turn it into a push press, where we dip and drive. It's a little quarter squat. Chest nice and tall. 10 seconds left. 2, 1, and rest. Great job. Set the weights down. We're back to the lunge or giant step to high knee. All right. So toes pointing forward, chest nice and tall. Going in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Controlling that knee down to the floor. Lifting the chest as you draw that knee high. Don't let the foot kind of droop down. Lift the foot and toes as well. Engage that ankle of your front foot. Nice. Shift myself, looking forward. Eyes up and forward, chest tall. Breathe in as you step back. Think about propelling yourself up and forward to that front heel. That's 30 seconds. We're going to go 10 more. Got one more exercise in this series. Last rep here. Very good. Our final exercise, either down on the floor or an elevated position for a forearm plank with the option of the drag through. So if you want to use one of your weights to drag it underneath your body, you can, or just hold a standard plank. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Especially those of you that are down on the floor with that drag through, set your feet a little bit wider than you may normally. Try to have as little movement through the hips and shoulders. And really key here, no arching that lower spine. Keep the hips elevated, ideally nice and level to the shoulders. 10 seconds left. This is our final exercise of the circuit, and then we're gonna do it twice more. 2, 1, and rest. Great job. Come on up. Grab a drink. We'll get started with round 2 in 30 seconds. If you feel strong with your lunges and you want to hold some weights, I'm going to do that for this next round. Just make sure before you add any weight, you have that full range of motion. You can confidently take your knee to the floor and you feel stable. You don't want to slam that knee down. All right. Non-dominant leg to start. Eyes up and forward. 2, 1. Here we go. Control the knee down. Hold that front heel. Whoop. Knee up and forward. Very good. Nice and smooth. Halfway. 20 of 40 seconds complete. Excellent. So remember, without the weights, you can reach those arms out as you step back into that lunge. Encourage that chest to stay tall. Maybe she's on dumbbells, I'm sorry. 2, 1, and rest. You got a little extra love there, 45 seconds. Overhead presses next. If you only have one weight as well, you can hold it underneath the chin and go 2 together, or we can still stick with that alternating. Getting ready to go in 2, 1, overhead press, either both arms together or to slow it down a little bit, If you're someone who tends to get tight in your upper traps and shoulders, then I recommend the alternating overhead press. Squeeze the glutes. Watch from arching the spine. Breathe. Wonderful. Halfway through. Remember, if you need a little extra push to overhead, turn it into a push press. Dip and drive with the legs. Thinking about bringing that weight straight over the center of the head. 2, 1, and rotate. Good job. Switching it up for the lunges, opposite side. Walk those feet in so the toes are forward. 2, 1, here we go. Back and down. Whew. Really grip those toes down, keep the eyes up, flowing through. Nice. Great job, great. Very smooth in that high knee position, I'm impressed. When we can lunge with confidence, climbing stairs, climbing mountains, not such a big deal. All right, 10 seconds. I'll hold you just a hair longer. Let's balance it out on the other side. Let's go one more rep here. 2, 1, and rest. All right, plank drag through. End of set 2. One more round after this. Down on the forearms. Ready, begin. So you're reaching underneath your body, palm up, pulling the weight under. If you feel like you can't hold a stable midline, then simply hold that forearm plank. The drag through is most appropriate if you have the capacity to hold your plank for at least a minute. If the idea of that is like, oh, heck no, not yet, then just work the basics. 10 seconds done. Sorry, 30 seconds done, 10 seconds left. Ready? And take the rest. Woo! All right, 30 seconds will be into our third and final round. Let's grab a drink. Great job, everyone. Woo! "15 seconds, we back to lunges on your more challenging side. If you've had enough today, just hang out. We'll be doing a little cool down stretch here in about 4 minutes. 3, 2, 1, begin. Eyes up. Up. Either reach the arms straight out if you're holding weights, if they're up at the chest, think elbows up and forward. Good. Halfway through. Reset that balance. Good. Last 1, 2, 1, and transition. Final overhead press. They're both arms together or alternating arms. When you're ready. Shoulders stacked straight over the hips. We don't want to be a sway back position here. So think about pulling the front of your ribs down and in just a little bit. Halfway through. Add that little lift from the legs if you need it. 10 seconds. Straight up to overhead. And rotate. Good job. Final lunge. Keep forgetting which leg. Elbows up and forward, eyes looking forward, and here we go. Controlling that knee down. You want to really feel that front foot working, toes gripping down. The arches, we have like 3 different arches in our feet. And when those arches engage, they give our foot that support that we need to have a nice stable ankle. The ankle stabilizes the knee stabilizes up into that hip. Good, that's 30 seconds. 2, 1, and rest. Good job. Just a plank drag through. And then we're going to stay on the floor to stretch. All right, as soon as you get there, you can begin. 40 seconds starts now. You're taking this round off, but want to join back in for that cool down stretch. Make your way down to the floor. We're going to be on the floor to finish. Good, halfway through. Hips lifted. Great job. 10 seconds. 2, 1, and all done. Woo! All right, let's come into a kneeling position. Give yourself and your friends a little round of applause. Nice job. All right, let's check out those arms. Sitting back onto the feet. All right, and then when you're ready, we're gonna do our hurdler stretch. So go ahead and come onto your hips. You're gonna bend one knee, pull the foot in towards the opposite thigh. Make sure you're sitting right up on those sit bones. Opposite legs extended out. As you sit up nice and tall, start with the hand on your thigh, draw the belly in and just slide the hand down the leg, bowing your head down, reaching for the toes if you can do so without any kind of pain or excessive shaking. And then that other arm, you're just gonna reach it up and over, add a little side stretch to it. A little hurdle stretch with a side stretch. You can kind of rotate the head, peering up at that hand, and breathe smooth. Swear it's great to take some nice deep breaths. If you feel any kind of desire to give a little sigh, follow that intuition. Let it all go. On that next inhale, come on up and out of it, and then same thing other side. Pull one foot in, extend the other leg out. Readjust so you're right up on those sit bones. Draw the abdomen in, starting with the hand on your thigh, and just nice and smooth, sliding it down. Seeing how far your body can comfortably reach. If you can grab the toes, excellent. You can't, no problem. And opposite arm, overhead reach, add a little side stretch. Turn the head, peer up at that arm that's reaching up to overhead, and breathe here. One more breath. And release. Very good. From here, let's come on to all fours, hands and knees. And we're going to open up the inner thigh next with our inner thigh stretch and that modification of like a child's position. So with a nice wide handprint, draw the belly in, go ahead and take your left leg and stretch it straight out to the side. Try to have the bottom of the foot down onto the mat. So you're kind of gripping your toes down. Take your left hand and just slightly reach across the midline towards your right hand. And then from here, you're going to lower the head down and gently rock the hips back like you're coming into that child's position. So hips back towards the heel, bow the head down. And we're going to take 3 nice deep breaths here into the back. When you're ready, come back forward. In between legs, we're going to do our quadruped hip rock. So you're going to bring that left leg in, walk your knees in so that they're touching, draw the belly in so that we're not arching the spine. And now we're going to just gently rock the hips from one side to the other. Sometimes you'll feel it into the low back, outer aspect of the hips. nice. And once you get a little relief there, you're going to go, your right leg this time is going to go outstretched. So back to all fours. One leg reaches out to the side. It's your right leg, right hand reaches across towards your left, and then drop back from here, lowering the head down, trying to grip that foot down, and 3 breaths on this side. When you're ready, coming up and forward. We're going to go figure 4 next. If you want to do it in a chair, you can. I'm going to show it here from a seated position. So we'll come back down like we did that hurdler stretch. Let's take your left foot. You're going to cross it over the left thigh. If you're sitting in a chair, you'll just sit tall and let that knee drop down. Here on the floor, we're going to draw the shoulders back, place the hands, and now you're going to inch that foot of your right leg up and in, and then actively think about pushing this knee out. Chin in. We're going to hold 20 seconds here. Great time to close those eyes and relax. One more breath. And release. Great job. Same thing, opposite foot. Switching sides. Sitting tall or from a seated position. Walk this foot up. And open this upper body at the same time. Really drawing those shoulder back and then push the knee away as you pull the thigh towards you. Go ahead, close the eyes. We're going to go another 15 to 20 seconds here. And 2, 1, and gradually relax there. Very nice. We're right about time here, but let's just finish with a couple movements for the head and neck, shoulder area. So sitting up nice and tall, we're going to go chin down to the chest, looking down. Feel a stretch for the back of the neck. Those of you that are here for the next class, you're welcome to join in on these neck movements. Gently looking up towards the sky or the ceiling. Good. Would you do that twice more? Looking down. If you want to give a little overpressure, fingertips barely touching the top of the head as you look down and pull the chin in towards your chest. And as we go to look up, you're comfortable to do so. You can cross the hands just in front of the collarbones. Draw the skin down slightly as you lift up the chin. And looking forward. Good. On the last time through, as you look down, we're going to bias our chin. So go ahead and take your chin over towards your right collarbone. You can think about taking your left shoulder, kind of drawing it back and down. You can rotate your palm up towards the sky as you pull the hand behind you a bit. You want to try to lengthen that side of the neck and shoulder. And you can use your right hand, fingertip barely on the back of the head, side of the head a little bit. Just want to feel this like up along the side, a little bit into the back of the neck where that trap inserts into your skull and runs along that neck and shoulder area. One more breath here. Keep it very gentle, please. And then when you're ready, pull it up and in, and we'll balance it out on the other side. So chin draws in, then you draw that chin down towards your left collarbone if you're mirroring me. Right shoulder, you can roll it back, kind of traction it down, palm reaches out, and then your left hand, one finger, I'm just using my middle finger on the side of the head to just give a little bit of overpressure. Pull that chin in the whole time. 2 more breaths here. When you're ready, go ahead and release. Beautiful. All right, we'll do 3 finishing breaths together. On our inhale, we're going to elevate those shoulders up and in towards your ears. Rotate those palms forward. On that exhale, draw it back and down. Good. Inhale, raise up. And exhale, release down. Shoulders back and down. Beautiful. Final time. Breathe in. And breathe out. Fantastic. All right. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning, showing up and moving your body. We'll be back Thursday. Unfortunately, probably from inside the garage. I think we're going to be having some snow when we get back to Colorado. All right. Take care, everybody.